Dear friends, now we will talk on one of the important topics which is called as value chain. Now before we start to a value chain topic, let's understand what is value. So simple definition of value is what customer is willing to pay for. Now consider a situation, there are two laptops. One laptop is working well with good screen, good keyboard, and another laptop does not have a screen and its keyboard is also not working. So do you think that customer will be willing to pay for a second laptop for which the keyboard or screen is not working? So definitely not. So what is value? Value is something a customer is willing to pay for. Now how to define customer value? Now customer value is best defined as how much a product or service is worth to a customer. So this is very simple definition of value and customer value which actually interlinks with the value chain. Now let's talk about value chain. So what is value chain? So value chain is a tool or concept which was developed by Michael Porter in 1985. According to Michael Porter, value chain is set of business activities and processes that firm operates to deliver a valuable product or service. So very important is valuable product or service, because any product or service, if that doesn't add value, then there is no need to conduct such business activities or processes, because customers will not be willing to pay for such products or services. What is basically use of value chain? So value chain is a tool which is used to identify how can we add more and more customer value in a product or a service. Now according to value chain, there are 9 different activities which are categorized further as primary and support activities. So primary activities, there are 5 primary activities, and according to Michael Porter, primary activities are activities that are essential in adding value and creating competitive advantage for the company. Support activities, so there are 4 different support activities, and according to Porter, activities which are supporting or helping primary activities to make them more effective are the support activities. So we will talk about all these primary and support activities in detail in the next topic. So as we have seen, there are 5 different primary activities, out of which first is inbound logistics, then next is operations, then next is outbound logistics, then fourth is marketing and sales, and fifth is service or after sales service. So these are basically primary activities in a value chain. Now what are the support activities? So as far as support activities are concerned, there are 4. First is firm infrastructure, second is technological development, third is human resource management, and fourth is procurement or purchasing. So let's talk about each and every activity. What exactly does that mean? So first is inbound logistics. Now what is inbound logistics? So anything that we bring into the business from our suppliers or from external parties. So anything bringing into a business is basically an inbound logistics. So whatever we do, like transportation, movement of material to get that material within our company, is inbound logistics. Second is operations, that we have already seen in detail. So operations is nothing but all the processes that are involved in converting any form of input like raw material, labor, energy or capital into an output like goods or services. So all the manufacturing operational processes, heat treatments, assembly, all these coming into the operations. Now next is outbound logistics. Now outbound logistics is as simple as inbound logistics. So inbound is bringing material into a business. Similarly, outbound is basically shipping out of a business to a final customer. So anything that we sell to customer and anything we ship out of the company is basically a outbound logistics. Now what is marketing and sales? So very important thing is that unless and until a customer is not aware of our products or services or our offerings, they would not be able to buy our products or services. So creating that awareness, creating that So creating that awareness, creating that promotions or advertisement or communication with the customer is basically a marketing and sales. So all the activities that are involved in marketing a product or selling a product is basically a marketing and sales. Next is service. So we all know that if we buy air condition, if we buy television, so there are some maintenance contracts that we also buy. So basically service is nothing but after sales service, which includes all the activities which are required to keep the product working effectively. So services can include repairs, it can include maintenance and also installation of the products. So all these activities form a primary activities set and group of primary activities. Now let's talk about support activities. So support activities, the first one is firm infrastructure. So firm's infrastructure consists of all the activities which are like accounting, legal, finance, quality control, public relations, quality assurance and general management, because these all the functions are creating an infrastructure to run the primary activities or to support the primary activities. Next is technological development. So technological developments are required in this globalization era. Every company is focusing on technological development, like coming up with sophisticated IT systems, ERP systems. So that is required to a company, and that is part of support activities. Now, technological development also means that technical knowledge like patents of the company or any trademarks or copyrights of the company, that is also a part of technological development. Third is human resource management. So this is also a function which consists or which performs multiple activities, which includes recruitment, which includes hiring, onboarding, training, developing talents, compensation management, and also laying of people. So this is managing entire personal development or managing entire managing entire employees or human resources is part of support activities. Now last is procurement. So procurement is as simple as what we have seen already. So procurement is, it includes acquisition of goods and services from external source or from external suppliers. Now, what is the difference between supply chain and value chain? Because most of the time people think that supply chain and value chain are the same. So it is not as same as what we see in a function. So supply chain and value chain are intrinsically linked to each other, but they are not the same. So let's jump to a difference between supply chain and value chain. So when we talk about supply chain is basically managing flow of good and information from raw material till the end customer. But value chain is basically starting from customer's value to understand customer's value and incorporate that customer values into products or services. So that is the key difference between value chain and supply chain. Again, there are two more topics. The first is value chain is a bigger view of organization's processes. However, we can also call as supply chain is a subset of value chain. So that is first topic. Second is value chain is producer of valuable goods and services. However, in supply chain, major focus is given on flow of goods from raw material till end customer. And that means supply chain enables value addition in value chain, and that is the key difference between value chain and supply chain. In this picture you can see the first is supply chain, which starts from raw material which is bought from supplier, then it goes to manufacturing. Once it is manufactured, then it goes to distributor or retailer, and finally it goes to the end customer. So this is basically managing flow of goods and information from raw material till end customer. Now what is value chain? So value chain starts with customer. So here you will see it starts with customer. From customer we understand what they are willing to pay for, and according to their values, according to their inputs, some ideas or some innovations are coming out, and these ideas are then designed and developed in a further products or services, and these ideas are then incorporated in a product or service, which is nothing but design and development. Then it goes into a manufacturing, and then making awareness of these products and services to the customers, that means marketing, and then it is sales to the customer, and finally it is after sales service. So that is a key difference between supply chain and value chain. So in a nutshell, what are the different benefits of value chain? So value chain is basically a tool that is used to increase the value for the customer, and hence it is also useful for increasing profits. It is useful for increasing planning strategies. It also helps in reducing the cost for a non-value added activities or processes. It also helps in establishing certain standards. It helps in enhancing product flow, because if we work on inbound and outbound logistics improvement, it actually will help into enhancing product flow. And finally, it is also developing a competitive advantage for a company, and from which company can stand out against or compared to their competitor. So this is all about value chain.